CA Rudramurthy, who is the MD at Vachana Investments. Good afternoon, sir. What's your, let's quickly take stock of markets. What's your sense on what markets are doing, as well as with regard to what's happening on the broader market front as well? Could you talk to us about what your views are like?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Now, first of all, we have to see both at Nifty as well as Bank Nifty level. From the highs, we have corrected approximately about 3 to 4%, which is a healthy correction. Now, one has to understand we are nowhere closer to 20,200 Nifty, where I was in fact recommending a short call, and we have already corrected 600 points on Nifty from those levels, and Bank Nifty has also corrected about 1,500 to 2,000 points from the highs. But right now, what is very crucial is, yes, having seen this sharp fall, market is seeing some bounce back because we are taking that support from oversold zones. And yes, Nifty is making that comeback today. Same with that of Bank Nifty. And we have also seen, because crude oil has now corrected or cooled off from those levels of $98 per barrel now to around $86, $87 per barrel. This has also been one of the drivers for us to move from that oversold zone. But one should also not ignore few very, very crucial point. Yesterday was the first day I saw there was definitely sell-off seen in mid-cap and small cap. Look at mid-cap Nifty. Look at even mid-cap 50, mid-cap 100, 150, small cap index. Any of these first signs of weakness is seen yesterday, and they have underperformed both Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. And even today, just look at all these mid-cap and small cap index. I'm just talking at a general index level, not stock specific, but clear signs of exhaustion is visible today. So I will be very, very, very cautious on mid and small cap. And unless you are a long-term investor with stock specific fundamental call, do not just buy into momentum. This is the time to shift from momentum to value, and you have to be very cautious, especially if you are not on right stock in mid and small cap. And very much important is sell when you can and not when you want. So when these stocks starts correcting, you may not even get that opportunity to exit. So one has to be very, very cautious in mid cap and small cap. And these signals are visible to me from yesterday. And today also we are seeing underperformance in mid and small cap, which is definitely a worrying call for me.
Right, slightly reluctant, slightly softish on that mid and small cap space, but let's try and focus a bit more on the larger cap space, right? You know, probably before that, let me go on to the India VIX. It's been fairly volatile, the India VIX. When I look at it over the last 5 trading sessions or so, we've seen 10% up, down. Even today, we are seeing roughly a 5% move on the India VIX. What's your sense on how and whether these movements will start becoming flatter, or are you still seeing large volatility going forward?
See, for last 6 months, if you see the India VIX chart, we are not crossing that zone of around 13.5 to 14. And on the lower side, again, if you see, there has been support taken at around 9.5, 10 zones. So I'm not seeing any move except for consolidation, which is shown on India VIX chart. For me to see some momentum, it has to move beyond 13 if India VIX has to move up, or other way around. I'm sure India VIX cannot come to levels much below 9.4, 9.5, which has been a very strong base. So I'm not seeing any specific moves on India VIX, except it is just sideways in this huge range. But however, what is very important is, yes, we might see more volatility, and yes, India VIX breaking on the upside with mid and small cap index or even large cap just tumbling down is not a good sign for bulls. I'm not sounding very bearish on market, but what I'm trying to tell is you have to be cautious and you have to sell when you can and not when you want, especially if it is mid and small cap. But let us also not forget, mid and small cap on an average has given you a return of 30-40% in terms of index. Some of the SME on general level has given 70 to 80% return. And I'm telling, yes, we are resilient. Indian market is resilient compared to any other market in this world. We may not fall like US market, but let us also not forget we are part of the globe.
Right, Rudra. Hi, this is Vinny joining in the conversation also. I want to understand that in this market, what are your top picks that you're looking at, Rudra?
Yeah, see, you have to be very stock specific in this market, and I'm shorting the weaker stocks only. Look at Muthoot Finance. For me, Muthoot Finance and even M&M Finance looks very, very weak. First signals of weakness was seen yesterday in especially NBFC stock, but I won't recommend a short in Bajaj Finance, where company specific, even the updates what they gave and even their fundraising, everything has been very positive. So you can't pick any NBFC stock and sell. But for me, definitely yes, M&M Finance looks very, very weak. It has broken crucial support at levels of 293. Last quarter results were bad, updates were bad, everything is weak on M&M. Charts are telling me yes, this stock can head towards levels of 274. At current market price, it's a great risk reward to sell M&M Finance. Looking at targets initially of 274 and even further down if 274 support gets broken, and I'll be keeping a tight stop loss of 293 for this sell call. Another sell call for me will be Muthoot Finance. This stock, even in time when market was performing good, this was moving only on the downside. Trend is clearly on the downside. For me, Muthoot Finance is again a very good sell call at current price. I'll be looking at initial targets of 1,140 on Muthoot Finance with a strict stop loss of 1,230. I will go short. Both the stocks available in futures to sell, and levels have to be clearly followed. But let me also tell you, don't sell stocks which are very strong. I will never sell at any price stocks like, let us say, Escorts, HDFC Bank, SBI, especially PSU stocks like even Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda. These are strong stocks. So when I say market looks weak to me, you have to pick the right stocks when you sell. You can't short anything and everything.
Right. Thank you so much for those views, very detailed ones. They're coming in from Rudramurthy. But with that, we'll slip into a very short break. Of course, we'll bring you more on the other side. So stay tuned to Markets at Noon.